Schools are supposed to be safe. A place where you learn, laugh, and grow. But what if the walls you trust the most suddenly turned against you? What if, behind those locked doors and empty hallways, something was waiting, watching, and you couldn't leave? Over the years, students have reported terrifying experiences during lockdowns. Doors slamming, footsteps echoing, shadows moving in impossible ways. Some made it out, some didn't, and the things they saw, things that shouldn't even exist, will haunt them forever. Tonight, I'm going to share 3 disturbing school lockdown horror stories, each one more terrifying than the last, where fear became very real and survival was never guaranteed. I never thought something like this could happen at my school, until that day. My friends, Maya, Ethan, Liam, and Sarah, were all laughing in the hallway, joking about our boring morning classes. Everything seemed normal. The janitor gave me a weird look as he passed, but I didn't think much of it. We all brushed it off. But then the alarm went off. Not the normal fire alarm. This was different. The lights flickered once, twice, and then the entire hallway plunged into a dull, shaking glow from the emergency lights. The doors started locking one by one. We tried calling the office. Nothing. No signal. And then the first sound hit us. A footstep, slow, deliberate, echoing from a hallway that should have been empty. At first we thought it was a teacher, but no one responded to our calls. The shadows in the hall seemed darker than usual, and then we saw him, a man, disheveled, thin, and moving in a way that didn't feel right. His eyes, hollow, scanning every classroom like he knew we were inside. Some rumors had been going around for weeks. A man who had escaped from a nearby facility, someone dangerous, and he had somehow gotten into the school. But I never believed them, until that day. We ran to our classroom, trying to lock the door behind us. We thought we were safe, but the footsteps didn't stop. They got closer, louder, and the whisper came next, a soft, chilling voice from under the door.
I know you are in there.
We huddled together, shaking. Maya tried to call 911, but the line was dead. Liam suggested we find another exit, somewhere we could escape. We crawled down the back hallway, moving slowly, trying not to make a sound. The man was still there, patrolling. Sometimes we could see him in the corner of our eyes. Sometimes we just felt his presence like he was inches away, though we couldn't see him at all. And then, the first scream. Ethan. He had turned a corner too quickly, and there he was, the man. Suddenly, Ethan was gone. The last thing we heard was a thud, a muffled scream, and then silence. I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. The adrenaline was paralyzing. We kept moving, crawling through the maintenance rooms, past empty classrooms. Every shadow felt alive. Every creak of the floor sounded like footsteps behind us. Maya found an old janitor's closet and suggested we hide. But even there, we could hear him moving closer, his breathing uneven, heavy, intentional. Time felt endless. Hours passed, or maybe minutes. I don't know. The world had shrunk to that closet, that dark corner, and the sound of someone, or something, breathing just outside. Then Sarah made a sound. just a small gasp, and I knew he heard it. The chase started. We ran down the basement stairs, stumbling in the dark. Hallways twisted, corners seemed farther than they were, and the smell, something metallic. Blood, sweat, fear. I don't know. All I knew was we had to keep moving. Doors slammed behind us. Shadows darted from corner to corner. And at one point, I swear, I saw him vanish into the wall. Finally, we reached the old auditorium. The exit doors, in sight. Just a few steps. And then he appeared. No words, no warning. Just him, staring. Hollow eyes, a grin that didn't reach his face, and a slow step forward. We ran, burst through the doors. Daylight, safety, or what felt like it. We never found Ethan or the others. The police searched, but there was no trace. And when we looked back, the school looked normal again. Empty, silent, like nothing had ever happened. But I knew the truth. The man was still there, somewhere, waiting for the next lockdown, waiting for the next students. It was supposed to be an easy day. We had a substitute teacher for our last class. Quiet, middle-aged guy. Looked nervous, but nice enough. Said his name was Mr. Lewis. He started attendance, but half the names he read out weren't even in our class. We laughed. Thought he had the wrong list. He didn't laugh back. Just stared at us with this blank look and said,
"Phones away! We won't need those today!"
About 15 minutes in, the fire alarm suddenly went off. Everyone jumped. But instead of taking us out, Mr. Lewis locked the door. Deadbolt. Click, he said.
"Stay seated! This is a lockdown drill!"
Then came a knock. 3 slow knocks. The door handle turned. Once, twice. Mr. Lewis just stood there, blocking the door, breathing heavy. "No one opens that," he said. Someone on the other side whispered, "Police." "Open up." And that's when our teacher started shaking his head, violently. "Don't listen," he whispered. "Don't move." One of the students, Emma, finally yelled, "You're not a teacher." He turned toward her, his eyes wide, and shouted, "Sit down." Then everything exploded, glass shattering, the door bursting open. Real police rushed in, guns drawn. They pinned the man down within seconds. He kept repeating, "I'm here for the drill. I'm here for the drill." But here's the part that made everyone go cold. The real Mr. Lewis had called in sick that morning. The school had never sent a substitute. The guy they arrested wasn't even in the system. No teaching record, no ID, nothing. Just a fake badge and an attendance sheet full of names that didn't exist. Later, police said he'd been caught at another school 3 towns over, doing the same thing. Each time, just before the lockdown alarm. No one ever found out what he planned to do. But now, every time our intercom says, "This is a lockdown drill," I can't help wondering, who's really calling it? They said it was just another drill. Lock the doors, stay quiet, lights out. But drills don't start with blood on the floor. My name's Claire. I'm not the kind of girl people remember. I sit in the back row, draw in my notebook, and avoid eye contact. But that day, everyone remembered me. It was 2:14 p.m. when the announcement came. This is a code red lockdown. At first, we thought it was fake, until we heard the first scream. Someone was in the hallway. Mr. Dalton locked the door, pulled the shades down. We all hid behind the desks. Then, knocking, slow, deliberate, right outside our door. A voice said, "Please let me in. I'm hurt." But we knew that voice. It was Tyler. He'd gone to the restroom right before it started. Mr. Dalton whispered, "Don't move." Then the knock stopped. We thought it was over, but from the small window on the door, we saw him. Not Tyler. A man wearing the same school hoodie, blood on his sleeve, and a knife dragging against the glass. He smiled when he saw us, then walked away. But every creak of the hallway felt like he was still there. Every minute felt like an hour. When the police finally broke in, they found him in the library. 6 bodies. He'd been moving room to room, quiet as a shadow. They said he escaped through the loading dock. 6 people were dead. No one saw where he went. Weeks passed. I tried to go back to school, tried to be normal, but sometimes I feel like someone's watching me. I catch shadows outside my window, a reflection in the glass that moves when I don't. And last night, I found something on my porch, a school ID of Tyler, covered in dirt. They said he's still out there. I think they're wrong. I think he's already here, just waiting for me to open it. If you're still watching this, maybe you heard it too. That sound behind you. Soft, steady, waiting to be noticed. Some stories end, but fear doesn't. It lingers, it listens, and sometimes it follows. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon, because on Haunted Horizons, we instill a new fear. Until then, keep your doors locked, your lights dim, and never ever turn around.